Schulz in the group, they talk about Donald Trump Jr. had a huge
Crazy
party.
Yeah.
And then they had to throw everybody out because Trump found out about the party.
Well, yeah, he wasn't supposed to be back.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be back. It was kind of like something on like a movie. Like dad comes home, but he like never mentions it.
Yeah.
So Trump Jr. is like, almost like it didn't happen.
Exactly.
But we didn't know he was in his underwear. So that party got real crazy.
Yeah, that was the first time he addressed it in like 40 years or something like that. He never addressed it with his kid.
You know, there's a guy in this room, a young black male, who said he watched Trump on Flagrant. He goes, that Flagrant interview is going to get Trump elected.
That guy that you're talking about, he's been MAGA for a while.
No, I'm not
I just want to let y'all know.
Not gonna hold y'all.
He was waiting for that moment.
I felt the same way. That was the first time I looked at him as like a person. I was like, why am I like? I was like, oh my God, he's a granddad. He cares about his kids. Like, ugh. But it was like y'all made him. He was having a good time.
I mean, okay, guys, you know what I mean? Like, this is when you know me. This is why I'm so happy that I had, I think, early intuition to always say, even when I was on the left, whatever that is, I always say, like, we're not having dinner with these people, and everybody doesn't have to sound alike. I never had to like look at Trump as a human, like tell myself like, well, you need to look at him as a human. So that moment really never came for me. I think it's odd what she just said there. Yeah, people, we take these people and we put them in this different, like, I don't want to say realm, but like this level where all we think they do is eat, sleep, and breathe, talking trash on screen. And it's like, no, these still are people. And there's things around them that make them act a certain way and all of that. So there's certain, like when people say, well, Trump is a narcissist anyway. And, well, you know how he is. No, you don't know how he is. There's certain arguments you'll never catch me making about certain people, as in their personality type of argument. Like, oh, well, of course he would do that. He's a narcissist. He wants everything to be about himself. I just don't see the point in saying things like that. So that's how her comment just made me feel, what she just said, that just made me feel like one of those comments. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's go ahead and look. This is actually new. Andrew Schulz was just on The Breakfast Club. Again, you know, him and Charlamagne, they have a great dynamic. I can't front, they do. And so they were talking about a few things, and let's go ahead and get into it.
Schulz's fault, basically.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It's your fault.
Well, that and the commercial where another young black guy in this room did a commercial that Trump used and played over.
I met the guy who made that commercial.
And over again.
You met him?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Yeah, he was like, hey, thanks, Charlamagne really helped us out with that one. I mean, that commercial was unbelievable.
So it's our fault. It's our fault.
World Series.
Jesus Christ.
It is really crazy that the election was decided in this room right now. We don't get enough credit.
But do you get that response from people though? Like, yo, y'all humanized somebody that like we low key. Even when he got shot, I felt like people were like, oh, we don't want that to happen. But
what I'd say to people, and I have like a way more humble take than I think most. Like, I don't think that we had any impact on the election. I don't think that any of the podcasts. Like, I think that what America had decided is a lot of America weren't voting for Trump. They were rejecting the current administration. They just didn't like what was happening. And I think the way that the current administration was campaigning, they're basically kind of saying, hey, everything's good. We're going to kind of keep doing this. And I think a lot of Americans were like, I don't really feel like it's good, so I'm going to go for anything but this. But I think the idea of Trump is always he's a populist. So if you vote for him, it means you love him and you're obsessed with him and you're MAGA until you die. Where I think a lot of it is really just rejection. In the same way that when people voted for Biden, they didn't really vote for Biden. They voted against the chaos of Trump.
So let's
chaos of the world at that time.
Yes.
It was COVID. It was George Floyd. But also, we talk about this. America had its mind made up for 2 years that they was voting for Trump. We knew that. Like, it's not like we knew that. We were saying that. We were saying Biden needed to step down because we knew Biden wasn't going to win in November. It wasn't until the vice president, became the nominee that it was like, okay, well, maybe there is another option. But everybody knew.
It's not.
So what do you...
So let's break down what Andrew Schulz just said, because what Andrew Schulz said is kind of what I've been saying, but on the flip side, right? So the thing is, let me compile my thoughts together and get them quick, because we're going to do this one take, okay? What do I do every day? I make content, right? Even if I'm not making content on this channel for some reason, I'm making content for somebody else. Like, I work on the back end on other channels, and I help them with finding their topics and things like that. And by the way, if anybody ever needed some help with something like that, drop a comment below. Or I'm actually going to set up my page for that, so I can actually start branching out exactly what I do, because I do believe that the Lord gave me a talent, and I should, use it to be able to spread the mission and all that. All right, okay. So I just turned that totally about me, right? Okay, let's get back to the point. So I noticed in the content, especially after Kamala went on The View, they got their moment when she said, there's nothing that I would change different from Biden and this, that, and the third. And I noticed the media started saying, Kamala's having problems with Trump, black people. Kamala's having problems with black people. Like, it was like this thing, especially with men. And all of a sudden, it was like you could tell, like, the media was starting to sway over to start getting people comfortable with a Trump presidency. I peeped it about 3 weeks before, I would even say a month before the election. I said, and you can go back and look. I'm on a live, on Justin Reloaded's live. I don't think it's still listed, but I'm saying it. I'm like, yo, he's going to win. It's already set up for him to win. And I know how that sounds, and I know what that does to people when I say that, but I'm telling you, as far as with content, I saw it both ways. I saw it, too, the same way with what he just said about the Biden election. There was a color revolution that was done in America. That's how I feel, yes, because we know how the CIA works, right? So my values are my values. They land where the truth lands. When you have a discussion about, oh, it was COVID, George Floyd, everything. Yeah, I remember that time, because I remember thinking they kept blaming everything on Trump, and the media kept saying, because of Trump, this many 100,000 people died, this many people died. Look at this, what happened with George Floyd. It's because of Trump. It's because of Trump. And I was like, and at that time, I was there, like, not sure yet what decision I was making as far as voting, but I knew, I was like, they want me to feel like it's because of him that all this stuff is going on. I could see the media manipulation from right there. And this is before I'm the person I am today, but just like today, I saw the media start swaying towards not Trump, but saying not Kamala. So, yeah, the media did have something to do with the acceptance of a Trump presidency. Nobody's really talking about it anymore, like in the hairdressers or whatever. People aren't mad that Trump is president. This is different than like 2017. Believe me, it is.
You think about everything that Trump's doing now?
Well, what specifically?
There's a whole lot. I mean, there's so many orders.
You love the Gulf of Mexico
between.
Oh, I love that.
I saw that on Joe Rogan, right?
I think it was Megyn Kelly.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I love the Gulf of America. I mean, it's North America, Central America, South America. Why we call it the Gulf of Mexico? It should feel like the Gulf of America. It's not the Gulf of North America. Mm-hmm. It's just the Gulf of America. But again, what I like is just like, I like saying audacious shit. I'm an American. Like, Americans in general, like in our DNA, we like risk takers and we like people who are brave. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like the tricky thing for Democrats right now. And keep in mind, I'm like a lifelong Democrat. I grew up in an arts family. Both my parents were dance teachers. Mm-hmm. Like, I live in New York City my whole life. So what I need is some energy on the Democratic side. We talk about this all the time. Is I need some like shit talk. I need some bodacious shit talk. And I think the thing that really Americans care about right now is it's things are expensive. Right. And I think Democrats need their build the wall. And whatever that is, it has to tap into what people are struggling with right now. So if it's,
they first have to build the team.
Well, exactly. But it could just be one outsider. Like I think it's dollar eggs. Like, eggs are $1. I think you just start saying shit like that. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to do it, but you start saying something that's going to resonate with people. And that's the only.
But see, the problem is then he's right. He is right. He's a content creator too. So he knows what words do to people and how you get them gassed up. And you see that with MAGA and I'm not coming at MAGA, but understand this channel is called The Inconvenient Truth. It's not called the MAGA channel. Because if you just want to hear yay, yay, Trump, yay, yay, you can go watch Brandon Tatum. You could go watch that guy, Rob Smith, that weirdo. He just called me out on Twitter, right? But over here, you get The Inconvenient Truth, right? Trump's base, what I'm a part of, right, needs to stop like clapping for fake W's, and has to get back cynical because I'll put it this way. What he just said about, they got to say their dollar eggs, even if you don't know how you're going to do it. Yeah, that type of superficial thinking, putting Band-Aid on a wound, it works for a little bit, but it doesn't work forever. I've never been one about fake W's. That's why when they would say stuff like, we're going to put Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill. First of all, I didn't need that. You know what I mean? Actually, me and my friends kind of roasted it. We said the money's going to look like it's from Zimbabwe. Hey, look, it is what it is. But I was like, these are fake W's. I was like, the hood is still the hood. What is Black Lives Matter? This is when I was a Democrat. And I was like, what's the point of Black Lives Matter? I said, the hood is still the hood. All this stuff is like fake W's to me. So I don't like it on any side. I don't like fake W's on any side. Build a wall. What wall? We're not building any wall. They did stop illegal immigration. They did stop it. We will say they stopped them from coming in. What happened to the deportations? The only deportation I'm hearing about is the guy who went to protest, Mahmoud Khalil, who went to protest about Palestinians being killed, and they sure know how to deport him, but they're not running around anymore. They're not even sharing the numbers anymore. These are the inconvenient truths that I believe in giving to the people. The people should know. So while these words sound good, we still should be able to deliver the truth in a relatable way. That's what I believe in. And that's what I believe the people deserve. I see you guys at the next one. Bye.